Okay, so I think this is 18. Vampire Saviors. I think you've all heard of this game, probably. So people think of it as a mobile game, and it is kind of a game where people that don't have a clue about games can play, I guess. In fact, if you do know about games, you're probably at a disadvantage with this because it's kind of like you just walk around and your weapons fire automatically, and it's more like playing dodgems than it is like shooting anyone or whatever. But anyway, I digress. Usually quite cheap. You can upgrade your character, RPG mechanics, and all that. Okay, so number 80, Game Dev Tycoon, the only game that this company have currently made. And you could say it's a rip-off of another game on this list, but I wouldn't possibly say such a thing. Um, Basically, you're a game developer tycoon and you develop games and sell them and make money. Except you don't because it's all just text on the screen. If you understood that, great. If you don't, I'm not going to elaborate. Okay. So, where are we now? Number 17? Is it? Mayhem Brawlers, which is like Streets of Rage 4 inspired game with superhero police type people. And you beat people up. And yeah, it's not as good as Streets of Rage 4, but it's cheaper and it's good fun. And there's a sort of comic book element to it. And I'm not going to explain what I mean by that. Okay, so number 17, Mind Scanners, probably one of the most original games on this list. How do I describe this? Well, it's kind of like your daughter's locked up somewhere and you've got to get her back, and you're living in a dystopian like future, a bit like this Tory party, and it's all about control and mind control and saying people are mental when they're not, and conditioning the minds, and oh, you can get money for that as well. Yeah, pretty cool game. 14 is it? Into the Breach. Um, I was looking for an Advance Wars type game because there wasn't any around at the time, and this sort of ticked the boxes. Although to say that it's like Advance Wars is, well, it's like Advance Wars if Advance Wars was unbelievably hard. Um, Still finished it though, but on easy level, and it's one of them games that's practically impossible on hard level. You've got these sort of mechs and you've got to destroy these alien type things like out of that film where there's aliens attacking. What's it called? Starship Troopers. Is it? Something like that. I should know this, but it's my ADHD brain. Anyway, you've got to kill these things, and because actually you didn't, but you're time travelers. So every time you fail and humanity's doomed, you can just go back in time and try again. The infinite loop of trying again ness. So at number 13, we have Not Tonight, Take Back Control Edition. Satirical game, not inspired by Brexit whatsoever, whilst also being inspired by Brexit. So it's kind of like, well, basically, um, you know, reform have basically got a super majority and they're super racist and they don't like people that aren't from here. And ironically, you were born in this country, but because your parents were foreign or something like that, then you're classed as a foreigner, and other countries don't want you either. So you're kind of like a refugee, and you got to be a doorman and pay your way whilst also trying to bring the government down. Yeah, cool game. So at number 12, you have Party Hard, which is kind of like if you've got neighbours who make too much noise and you've dreamt about killing them, this is your game. Um, so basically, you're trying to get to sleep and your neighbours are making noise. So you make the logical decision to kill them all and get away with it. And that's the entire game. Yeah. Think of like Natural Born Killers, but like a computer game. Anyway, so we have at number 11, we have Space Warlord Organ Trading Simulator, which is as confusing as it sounds, except it isn't because it's a Space Warlord Organ Trading Simulator. So you're a Space Warlord trading organs. And yeah, you can have a stock market on organ sales to make money. Yeah, it's not exactly the most moralistic game, but then games aren't exactly moralistic,